Howdy everyone on YouTube. Thanks for tuning in to the Watchbox review today. Hope you guys are having a great winter 2020. I know I sure am, and it's flown by super fast. It's already March 1st, and before you know it, winter is over and summer and spring are right around the corner. And I want to get this video kind of out of the way and done with here. I'm going to do an in-field review plus 14-month long-term wrap-up review of my owning and using and maintaining these two smartwatches. First, a Fossil Gen 4 Explorist, and the second, an Amazfit Stratos GPS fitness tracker. So we're going to just do a nice little hike around the coast, around the shoreline, and yeah, that's how we're going to roll today. So as always, I start off with GPS, and I'm going to show you guys the Stratos first. So let's wake up the watch. I've got my bottom button programmed here to start a trail run profile. Okay, hopefully you guys can see that there. And it's waiting and acquiring GPS signal. It usually takes about 10 or 15 minutes to do that. And it's going, it's going, it's going. Okay, the green go is ready. And I'm just going to tap go here. Okay, just to show you guys real time. And that is this watch's biggest strength. The GPS radio is awesome. I'm not sure if it's a Sony chipset or what they use in this watch, but every single day hike, every single backpacking trip that I've used GPS, I've never had a problem acquiring signal. And I understand this is an ideal scenario, a flat level ground, but I've had this watch in redwood forest, tree cover canopy, deep creek gorges, and I've never had a problem with GPS signal on this watch. Okay, and this is really the strength of the Stratos. Okay, so likewise, I have my Fossil Gen 4 Explorist, and I have the bottom button programmed to activate Google Fit, and I hope you guys can see that. Okay, so I've got a hiking profile set up, and I'm showing you upside down here. There's no other way for me to do that. Okay, and I've got the start workout button pressed. Okay, counting down. Okay, and the kind of neat thing about the Fossil is, and I think Wear OS in general, but I have the choice to use cell phone GPS along with the GPS radio built into the watch. I can't do that on the Stratos. Okay, now fortunately the Stratos GPS radio is good enough by itself that I've never had a problem, but I think the Fossil series of watches kind of give you that choice, and so you have basically two GPS radios to pull data from on the Fossil. Okay, so right away I think you guys are seeing the biggest advantage that I like about the Stratos, and that is an always on, full illuminated, full display information. Whereas the Fossil, in order to conserve battery life, especially with the GPS radio, I have to turn off the screen. I cannot leave the screen always on. Okay, or if I do, I have to be conscious of my battery. Okay, so I have to hit the button to wake the screen up. Okay, and then I can scroll through my data, my heart rate information, and my miles trekked, and so forth and so on. And the screen will dim once more in a few seconds. Okay. What I want to show you here, I hope you're seeing the Stratos in all of its full glory. A full display, always on. Full feature, always on display. I don't need to tap the screen. I don't need to do a wrist gesture. I just simply look at a glance at my speed, my distance traveled, and that's where it's at. So when we compare and contrast that with my Fossil, I have to leave the tilt-to-wake gyroscope on or active. Okay, and of course the OLED display is fully cranked, and visibility is kind of difficult. It washes out basically in the sun, and the more sun you have, the more the display washes out. And I want to show you one of the things I really like about the Fossil and Wear OS in general, and that is I can live respond to text messages. Okay, so I've got the top button programmed to activate my text messaging app, which is Android Messages. Okay, so I can simply tap on it here, like that, and automatically goes, and my brother just text messaged me and you're seeing it here. Cool. I've heard that Bubba Paris is really nice, a 49er. And I met Bubba Paris yesterday. He was signing autographs at my local Walmart, believe it or not. So I'm going to reply back to him. I can tap that. I tap on the microphone. Yeah, he was really nice. He shook my hand and he seemed really down to earth. Okay, I hope you guys can see that. Now you're seeing here one of the limitations of an OLED display in bright sunlight. It's very hard to read in the sun, I think. And I'm going to tap on that. Okay, and there you go. There's my text message. Okay, so that here live in field is one of the things I really like about Wear OS. If you want to actively respond to text messages like you saw me do there, either with voice, dictation, or handwriting gesture on the screen, Wear OS is really one of your few options. I don't think there are third-party apps, texting apps that do that. And certainly I can't do that here on my Amazfit Stratos. Okay, I've actually paused my trek, my workout here, okay, so just to show you guys that. No, I don't normally wear both watches at the same time like that. I'm just doing it here for the purpose of this demonstration. So I need to now resume my workout. There we go. Okay, so let's get back out on the trail. So here's my heart rate display on my Stratos. Okay, and here is the breadcrumb trail as well as my compass orientation on the Stratos. Now I'm sure there's a similar mapping application I can download and use on the Fossil for that, but I just really don't. Don't really feel the need for that, honestly, because the Stratos does that so well. So I usually just like to leave the my miles distance traveled, my speed, as well as my heart rate kind of visible on screen. Alrighty guys, so we're back here at the review bench, finished up my workout, and I want to show you guys how I pause or save my workout. So for the Stratos, hit the top button, the red button here, and it automatically pauses my workout. That red button is kind of the hot button to pause the workout. And either I can resume it or save it or discard it. So I'm going to choose to save, like I always do. Okay, saving data. It's synchronizing the data back with my cell phone right now. Okay, and I can get a summary of my workout. Training effect, full recovery time, trail run, distance 1.95, active time, pause time. I did pause the workout there for a little bit when you saw me respond to the text message. Okay, there's my route, my mapping route, my breadcrumb trail. Okay, and I can actually export the data, export GPX file successfully, save GPX file to my SD card. Very cool. Tap OK, and I can simply go back, and tap the red button and get back out to my main screen. Okay, and now that it's sunnier outside, I hope you can see the true vibrancy of this transflective display. That's really what I like most about this watch. Okay, so conversely, here is my Fossil. Let's wake it up. Okay, now I'm hoping you can see the screen. It's really hard for me to see, even myself. Okay, so let's pause my workout. There we go. Okay, now I'm going to hit the red stop button. Okay, it's doing its thing. Okay, good job, blah, 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 blah. There's my workout summary. I hope you guys can see that. And the one thing, there's my heart rate information. Okay. And my miles per average miles per hour, the miles I traveled, so forth and so on. And I'm hoping you guys can see here just how difficult it is to read the screen with the more sunlight that we have out here today. So this is my brightest, my most vibrant screen, and still it's having a hard time keeping up here with the sunlight. And the other thing too is when I wear my really dark shaded sunglasses, the darkness of the lens on my glasses really makes this display hard to read. Alrighty guys, so I think in summary what you have to keep in mind is with any smartwatch, whether it's an Apple Watch or Wear OS or an alternate brand, you have to learn to live with a certain amount of compromise. No smartwatch really does everything perfectly, I don't think. I mean, if you want a full interactive experience with full screen brightness, GPS tracking, heart rate monitoring, you're going to have to live with some degree of battery compromise, and that's no different here. So let's talk about that a little bit, and I think that's probably the biggest difference between these two watches. So for example, you saw that activity, my trail hike, my simple 1 hour trail hike, and after all that, the Fossil battery is down to 63%, and that's probably enough battery to get me through the rest of the day. But certainly if I were doing a multi-day hike or an overnight, a 3-section hike or something like that, you wouldn't want to use a watch like this. Now compare that to the Fossil, or compare that to the Stratos. Okay, hopefully you guys can see that. Even with a fully illuminated display, full feature display, I still have 97% battery left on this watch. Okay, so that's what you're going to have to weigh to yourselves. Now you saw in field how I was able to actively respond to text messages on the Fossil. That is outstanding. I love that feature about Wear OS and my Fossil in general. What that means is I can simply have my watch on and keep my phone stashed away in my pocket, and I don't even need to take my phone out. Whereas on the Stratos, I just get a simple wrist vibration and a little banner that shows I've got a text message. I can see who sent the text message, and I can see the first maybe line of data, of information, but I simply can't respond to it. I have to pull my phone out of the pocket if I want to respond. Okay, so I think the other thing that I need to comment on is after 14 months of use, the app support from Google and from Amazfit, Xiaomi/Amazfit. For the first 6 months owning the Fossil, Wear OS was brutal. It simply couldn't get out of the way of its own notifications and its own updates. So basically I'd get an update and it would brick or kill my Bluetooth notifications or something along those lines, and that was really annoying. I didn't really like that. So fortunately for the past 6 months, Wear OS has gotten a lot better. I think the Google acquisition of Fossil has finally taken place, and for the past 5 or 6 months it's been really, really great. Now compare that with the Amazfit Stratos. For those, I've never had any real major problems with the app updates for the Stratos. They simply download, they install, and everything works great. I did have one buggy period for maybe 3 weeks where it terminated my Bluetooth a little bit, but I reactivated the Bluetooth manually and it was totally fine. There was no problems with that at all. So you have to weigh that. Now who knows? I mean, I could get an update as soon as tomorrow, and my watch will be no good until that update stabilizes, okay, in either case. But overall, as far as historical records go, I've had a much better experience with the Amazfit Stratos as far as app updates go. Okay, but now on the flip side, things have been okay as far as the Wear OS is concerned, to the point now where I'm thinking about picking up another one of these. The Fossil Sports have come down in price significantly. The Casio ProTrek series of smartwatches have come down in price as well. Those use Wear OS, so I might pick up one of those, just for the heck of it, for the summer. Hey, summer is here, right? I mentioned earlier, winter's over, spring and summer are right around the corner. Cinto has the Cinto 7. I got my eyes on that too. Maybe I might get that one as well. But for $500, you saw how well the Stratos performs in field as a trail tracker and a GPS mapper. So I don't know, $500, that seems kind of steep. So anyhow, we'll see. So stay tuned, guys. Hope you guys find this information useful. If you have any comments or questions, please feel free to post them in the comment fields down below. Stay safe out there, everybody, and enjoy the outdoors, because I know I sure am. I'll catch you guys later on the next one.